How do I remove? Alright, alright. So here's the watchtower. Okay. And we got a forest. Hunting ground forest. Did you guys ever come up with an idea of what might be special about these mountains down here? Let me know. That's going to be the same thing. 20 and 19 is standard. So forest standard. Pick up the pace here. 8 and 12. We have a marsh that is difficult to cross. Now, what makes this marsh so difficult? Oh, it's got all sorts of stuff. No need to make up anything. It's just a difficult marsh in general. Okay. 5, 4. A hill with a feature. I think that there's, in these hills, there's a ruin of a city. No. Like a small village main square. Hill. Feature. Ruins of an abandoned stone town square. So, like, there's cobblestone that's got, like, grass growing in between it. The buildings are all, like, collapsed. The wood support beams are broken in half. It seems like with some work, you could probably turn this into a settlement again. But, you know, what happened here? I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Or will we? Oh, it is not letting me... Well, I know what abandoned means, even if I didn't type it right, so... Dom, you are looking at the Ultimate Campaign Sandbox Exploration World Building. We're building a map that we will be placing into this campaign. 14. A settlement. We have our first non-settlementy settlement, and it has a feature. Settlement with a feature is a community with a well-known reputation or historical significance. So I think this is the first settlement, so it's going to be a good big one. You know what? What I wanted to do was have a Mage Tower Academy built at the edge of a cliff overlooking the city. When is this going to be run? I have no idea. I don't have any players for it. I haven't even finished building the world. It'll be run sometime. Maybe. It could happen. So I'm thinking like a round city. Like a perfectly round city with like a low palisade, like a wooden wall. And No, you know what? I want it to be a low wall of concrete. And the top of the wall is like the Great Wall of China with like those boxy rivets. But the side, like the top, is going to be a special mix of concrete that's like concrete and glass shards. And so people trying to climb up the side get the shit cut out of them over this. So it's kind of like barbed wire for a prison, but like medieval style. And the town has overflowed this barrier. So you've got like a district out there that's just it's like King's Landing in Game of Thrones. Like the town doesn't end at the wall. The poor people live out there. The traders do their business outside the town, like the bulk of their business, and then like filter everything in slowly. But what's really important is that somewhere there's a cliff at the edge of the town, and at the top of this cliff is the mage tower that hangs precariously over the city, and the mages run this town. So there we go. That's an idea that I had that has now been made to life. 9 is going to be mountain again. Hunting ground. Oh, yep, that's the bandit thing. So bandits live near this town. Oh, that's not what I want to do. What I need is that, yes. So this settlement is set near a mountain where maybe it's like a rebel government, maybe it's just some hillfolk jackasses. I'm not really sure yet, but these mountain maybe it's like goblins that live near the town. They're like mountain goblins, and they're constantly like repopulating themselves and then raiding the town every couple of seasons, and then when they get driven off, they just retreat and repopulate. It's simple. 16 and 16. A water tile, just standard water. I'm getting the idea I'm going to need some rivers here. Some pretty significant rivers. 1 and 7. Zahil Forest Hunting Ground. So, give me some ideas, guys. What would you like to see hunted in this hunting ground? It's near a settlement, but it's on the far side of a dangerous mountains and a gigantic lake. So it might take a while to get over here. You have to go through these. If you want to go like around it, you got to do hills, through a marsh and some more forest. So what might be in this forest? You tell me. 10-6. That was a pretty good game back in the day. Look it up. 10-6. I think it was 10 was the number, and then dash, and then the word 6. Kind of cool. Man, that's old. All right, so we got a mountain with feature. So this mountain has a face in it. It has the face of the third king. Who is the third king? I don't know. But here, I think we're going to have the second king. So these mountains guard something. I'm not sure what, but these mountains have been carved into, like Mount Rushmore. And they mean something to either the locals or some ancient civilization. 16, another water tile, and it's standard. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some water flow and rivers around here. So, let's throw it up on the map here. We got forest. Forest. Marsh. Hill. Settlement. And this is a big settlement, so we're going to throw down the castle icon. Mountain, water, forest, mountain, water. Okay, so it looks a little something like that. So this town that the players start in, Zathras, is pretty close to this large. So all the traders come from this area, right? Zathras tries to like hide itself away from the world, but there's this big town with the Wizard Academy, Wizard Tower. They do a lot of work with crocodiles. So maybe instead of the standard wizard tower, maybe it's like some sort of voodoo school, right? Like you go there, you learn like spiritual shamanism. Maybe it's not just wizards, maybe it's also like clerics as well. And it's just a school of magic that involves connecting yourself to the land, to the swamp, to understand disease and growth and death and entropy, and it runs the town. All of the learned go there. Let's do this next row here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I do this right? Yeah, I did. 6, 5. Well, this is going to be Pathfinder, but it's not going to be Galarian, so Gramps doesn't exist in this world. It's Project Babylon. 12, 17. Standard planes. Okay. So it's going to be plains again with a hunting ground. What do you guys see being hunted on these plains? Let's see what Plains Hunting Ground has to say. Did I miss it? Oh, Plains Hunting Ground. Ambush predators. I like the idea of this being tall grass. So random encounter rate is hugely increased. So we don't need anything in particular here. We don't need to say that there's something here because it's already a hunting ground. And the thing being hunted is once again the players. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we got this hills hunting ground here. So, like, mechanically, we're looking at a hills hunting ground. These mountains are all filled with bandits. Forest of bandits, and now we've got another thing of bandits. Like, the whole Northland is filled with fucking bandits everywhere. Or monsters, or some sort. Like, the whole area is just rife. It needs adventurers to help clear that shit out. 12 is plains, and 3 is difficult plains. Difficult plains are sinkholes. I think it's going to be Badlands. Yeah. So difficult plains. I'm going to write it in, but then I'm going to note that it is Badlands. And look that up. I actually didn't know what Badlands were until I looked it up the other day. I always assumed it was just a term Westerns use to describe to, like, oh, those are bandits out there at the I thought it was like, if there were bandits there, that was why you called it Badlands. I didn't realize it was ecologically a term. Badlands. Like, what do you call those pits where people do, so like strip mine, and then it's also slower exploration there. It's just hard to get across these plains. 6 is hills with standard. So that makes sense, right? Like you go from these low-lying, shitty, like coal-filled areas, and then like everything kind of evens out, and you know, it's like the mountains being beaten down. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass here, but we got standard hills. 1. That's gonna be a forest with standard. Not a lot going on here. Maybe that's okay because it's right next to Zethras, so there doesn't need to be a huge amount of excitement here. Mountain difficult. Maybe that's why no one comes to Zethras, because the path there is hard to get to and no one likes you. So, oh no, difficult. What does mountain difficult mean? Oh yeah. So yeah, it's hard to get through these mountains. You don't come through the southern path. All right. 15 and 12. You know what, Dom? I'm kind of sad that no one chimed in to like sign up for a Saturday game, by the way. I mean, I would totally have been down for running any of those RPGs, but no one was really digging it. Ooh, water resource. So what's that? Fish, shellfish, pearls. Huh. Let's think about this. I'm gonna have to look up. Oh, could it be like oil or something? What I mean, what would be so there's marshlands in the area. What is some sort of fantastic water-based resource you could find in the area? Like crawdads. Holy shit. Yeah, this is like the whole area is just a crawdad breeding ground. People love it. They love to come out here and eat these fucking crawdads all day long. They'll travel like 2 days to come out here, get these crawdads, and then ship them fresh back to that settlement as quickly as possible. Crawdad. Yeah. 5 and 19. We got a hill, just standard hills. Okay. 16 and 4. We have water with a feature. And I already had crawdads. That's hard to know what I want to put there. Well, chat, I'll ask you. What kind of water-based resource would you add to this crawdad-centric area? Please let me know. Something bayou-related that you can only find in the water. Normally I would say like oil, but I don't think excavating oil here is going to be. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a steampunk type world, and they need oil, and they do like oil rig beneath the waters here. You know what? I'm just gonna put oil, and we'll figure it out. Maybe it's whale oil or some sort of. Oops. Oh shit. Maybe it's oil from a creature. Either way, there's oil in these hills. They get it somehow. Yeah, because they use lamp oil, and you can use it in siege weapons. People would need a steady supply of oil with a town nearby, even if they aren't using it for cars and shit. Another water tile with a hunting ground. Water hunting ground. That might be the first water hunting ground. Let's see what you get out of that. Predatory aquatic creatures. Opportunistic hunting. Ooh. So, there's something that lives here, but more importantly, random encounters are increased. So there's like something comes out of the water into the surrounding area and just makes things harder. Oysters that can make a purple dye. I'm gonna keep that one shelved, Dom. If that comes up again, water with the resource. Oysters with a dye. Maybe like a blue oyster cult. There's a cult out there that harvests. Man, give me a second. This chair is just destroying me tonight. All right, we should be back now. Sorry about that brief cutaway. Sorting it out. Well, we're at the end here, so let's set it up. Okay, planes. 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 Hills. Forest. Mountain. Look, we got a beginnings of a mountain range that Zathras belongs to. Water? Hill, water, water. I mean, just the way this is formed. There's got to be some sort of like water network here connecting all these bodies together. So, like these forests are, yeah, I mean, they're not marshes, but maybe there's like a major river that cuts through them, connecting everything. Okay, so this is what that's going to end up looking like. Next slice of the pie. 16 is water. Standard water. But you know what? That's going to be water standard. But in that water, there are oysters that provide both pearls and purple dye. Special. 12 and 6. Planes with a feature. Feature old battlefield. Yep, I like that. So we know that there's tons of bandits all over the place. Something's increasing the random encounter rate in the area west of here. So I think that this is the site of a battle that shattered the north. We'll just leave north ambiguous. And caused banditry and monsterism. This is where it happened. This is where the settlement, we don't have a name for the settlement yet, but this is where they engaged the forces of the north, the mountain people, the Badlanders. They fought it out here, and no one's bothered to clean it up. Did that fight? It seems like maybe that fight happened recently. My thinking, like within the last year or so. That's why the banditry rate's up. Like instead of engaging them directly, they're now doing like the Scots-Irish thing, where like small harassment groups are forming up and just taking out targets as they can. 8 marsh hunting grounds. Hunting ground. Marsh hunting ground. So increased encounter rate. That's going to be a marsh again. Resource. So maybe that waterfall next to the village of Zathras feeds into this marshland in the north. That marsh has medicinal herbs and plants. So it's not just a source of drugs, but it also has potent medicines needed for everyday life. So this would be like our version of NSAIDs or Kingfoil. This is going to be like herbs to lower or increase heart rate are going to be found here. stuff to like stop the bleeding, um, things to put you to sleep. I mean, this marsh is where you find these fantastic plants at. You can't get anywhere else. Maybe that's how the village of Zathras like funds all its stuff, right? They send people out into the marsh to the north. They follow the waterfall, he's gathering these plants, bring it back, and they sell their harvest to the town. 12 and 13. Plains with a secret. What is your secret, Plains? What does the fox say? Oh, okay. So, there's stolen goods south of the town. I'd like to think that these stolen goods, like someone that recently moved to the town, is like a northern bandit. And he's just trying to escape the fighting that happened up there. I need to write that down. Holy shit. Adventure ideas. So we already got this one. I'll come back to that. Here's idea 2. Someone from Zathras, a recent arrival, buried his ill-gotten gains from his time, her time as a bandit south of town. They sure would like it hauled in secret. No, they're not going to send some kids to go do it while they're exiled from town. But we do know that there are a stash of loot down there that contains significant blood price. So if they go try to sell this in the town, like the markings on the clothing or something, or the stamp on the weapons, the armorer's mark on the leathers is gonna be noticed, and people are gonna be like, "Where the fuck did you get this?" Owning this, you're basically like admitting that you're a bandit bringing this in here, and so it's gonna be a ill-gotten gift, something that caused them more trouble than it's worth. 20 is another plains, and 10 is a hunting ground. So, ambush predators once more. Oh, I like that adventure idea. Where's hexes? So, we're building this world. It's actually pretty big, right? Even though it's only 10 by 10, each tile is 12 miles, and it takes a day to clear a plains tile and like triple that to clear a mountain. And even more if you've got the like mountain difficult terrain. So there's a lot going on here, and we're only like halfway done. I'm feeling pretty positive about this. And if needed to, we can just expand the size of the map, right? We can just say these 10 by 10 is the middle, and then just do like another 10, like 8 blocks around it. And now we have this enormous map for them to work with. And it doesn't take that long to build this once we've already got this in here. So 19 and 3. So it's going to be another plains. Difficult plains. Now, what's so difficult about these plains? Sinkholes and pits. Now, how do we mesh that with the water that's there? I don't know that we have to yet. We'll figure it out later. If you have some ideas on why these plains are so difficult to cross, let me know, though. Let me know in the chat. We'll leave a comment section. 12 plain and 7 hunting ground. I think the plains have something specific for hunting ground, right? Yeah, ambush predators. Nine and one is mountain with difficult. 10 by 10, Jim. 10 by 10. Isn't there already a difficult mountain somewhere? I just want to copy paste that. Probably could have just done it by now. But now that I've committed, there we go. Now that I've committed, I'm not stopping. All right, so let's fill it in. We got our map. So we got water. Oh. Water, plains. Marsh again. Marsh. Triple plains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a mountain. And so it looks something like this. Now, I kind of give you guys a little heads up. So we'll finish out this world building overview. You know, we'll wrap up once all the hexes are done, and we'll come back another night, probably tomorrow night, and do adventure seeding. So we'll go through the donjon adventure generator here. We'll generate some stats for the settlement. We'll probably come up with a name. And then we'll seed the settlement with some randomly built adventures using the adventure generator. I've already got a couple. And yeah, that'll be the next night. What'll happen after here is that I'm going to play some Reciteer. So if you like anime bullshit, prepare for that. And if you don't, stick with me until we get there. If you're watching this on YouTube, the video will end when I'm done doing this, so you don't have to watch Reciteer if you don't want to. But you might want to because it's awesome and it's about capitalism. Okay, plains with difficult. Plains difficult. Excellent. Let's try this. I'm going to do 2d20. No, I don't want to do it like that. But I'll do slash roll 2d20. Just copy it 9 times. Or why copy it 9 times? Let's do this. Let's do that. Then let's put a bar here. And we'll roll it 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, what's happening? It's bad. Why isn't it happening? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so let's fill it in quick. 5 and 17. Still standard. $17, $14. Hills secret. Now, what's so secret about these hills? Monsters live beneath them. It's Fernefluin. Deep dwarves. Maybe. Could be. 8 and 1. Marsh difficults. There's marsh difficults somewhere around here. Hopefully. Yep, that's already got its own thing. 15 and 19. We got water standard. Nothing weird about that. 16 and 2 is water difficult. Interesting. Might be a new one. Let's look at it. Water difficult. Whitewater rapids, strong tides, or underwater vortexes. I like the idea of whitewater rapids, especially with so many mountains nearby. So let's say that it's like a strong, fast river that cuts through. Like it's really like a broken plains that's got like a bunch of fast rivers coming from the waterfall from Zathras, like this gigantic lake up there that's just generating water. It's like spilling it down here. There's water around this area, so the whole water table's pouring into this area, and it's all like slot canyons, high speed runs, whitewater rapids type stuff. How many is left? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I might have missed something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2. Yeah, I did miss something. So let's move on. 13, 14 is Plains with the Secret. Secret Plains. More stolen goods. More adventure bait. 17 and 9. It's Plains with a hunting ground. That also has its own unique properties. Ambush predator. 10-10. Mountain hunting ground. More banditry, more attacks. And finally, 2-3, which is going to be forest difficult. Forest difficult. Wow, is there not a difficult forest on here? Not seeing it. Guess I'll have to type it out. Forest difficult. And let's see what rules forests have. Difficult forest is a treacherous place, full of rotting trees that can fall without warning. Twisted scythe trees that lunge at their victims, or witch lights that lead expeditions off the path. For each hour spent traveling through it, there's a 5% chance of a falling tree. Alright, let's fill it in. Plains. Hill. Marsh, water. Plains, mountain, forest. No, there's too many in there, but plains, mountain, forest. Okay. 70% done here. What's up, Henley? How's it going, bro? I am feeling so much better. Last night was fantastic. Jade Regent was mind-blowingly good. There was almost no combat. It was all like resolving plot story and making decisions and doing things. Okay. Was probably in my top 5 favorite sessions ever run. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Watching this and don't know what Jade Regent is, check out my YouTube page. And last night was Jade Regent week 4. Of course, you should watch all the other weeks first so that you know what's going on, but there you go, people of the future. Alright, 8 is Marsh. The resource. I think that's got a thing, right? Marsh resource. More herbs. Let's make something special about this marsh resource. What's special about these mushrooms? Mushrooms or drugs and spell components. So, like, there's rare spell components you can only get from this marsh. That's why people brave the difficult passage across the land to get there. Alright, 111 is going to be a forest resource. And this is going to have superior grade lumber. Yeah, so this is a really resource rich area. The forests here. So there's a logging camp for this. I don't know that much about lumber. I'm just gonna say superior grade and figure it out later. Superior grade lumber. So there's, yeah, like a guys who live in the woods here, and then like some of them go north and they pick out these mushrooms. They're all like drug addicts, and they every season they haul like this huge caravan, like dozens of wagons filled with mushrooms and lumber, back to the settlement. They get high as shit off of all that money. So, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like seasonally, they provide the wood for the area, given that, I mean, there's forests, but they're full of like horrible things and it's hard to travel to them so far. So they provide the specialty lumber needed to like run a town. And the town is used to them like showing up and buying hookers and blow or whatever it passed for in medieval days. So, just guys who need to let off some steam and need entertainment, like ice road truckers. So where did we leave off? What was that? That was 111. So 20 and 4. 20 is going to be a repeat. So that's going to be, what was it? Forest. And 4 is a feature. A feature of another forest. So, again, it makes sense why they have a lumber consortium out there. There's an even bigger forest. So these are like massive super trees. So not only do they have these superior grade trees, they also have like giant redwoods. So that, like you would make structures out of them. Like you could make a whole house out of it. You could harvest like super sized drums. Like you would have a 10-foot wide tree trunk and you'd make a gigantic drum out of it. Or, of course, you could just build a siege weapon whole out of it, with as few moving parts as possible, like a battering ram. And you just have these super-sized battering rams. You don't need all those parts to make up for the fact that the wood isn't thick enough, because you do have a piece of wood that's big. So forest, N and 2. Mountain difficult. That's got its own rules to it. So, mountain difficult. 3 and 13 is forest secret. What's in the secret forest? I like that. Thick mists. We haven't had a lot of weather effects yet, so this is forest secret. This is the misty forest. So, like this logging camp guys, they don't cross these difficult marshes or the difficult mountains to get down here, except to like repopulate the area and pick up like seeds and stuff, because this forest is scary as shit. Bandits prowl the woods to the north of it. It's always dark and overcast there. Weird stuff is always happening. 16 and 16. That's going to be a standard square, standard water. Twelve and 8. Plain with hunting plains. That have its own thing? Plains, hunting ground. Yep. Okay, hunting plains. Move that damn thing. I know there's got to be a plains hunting somewhere. Yep, there it is. Straighten out some columns too. Eight. Where do we leave off? 12, 8, 1, and 12. 1 and 12 is forests with a resource. This is probably going to be plentiful game. Forest resource. There's forest resource, but we're going to change it. So this one isn't about that. It's going to be about massive amounts of shit. Not about massive amounts of shit, by the way. About not overwriting my own words. Stop doing that. Okay. Massive elk population. All right. 15 and 5. Water with a feature. 30 bridge. Oh. I think instead of that, it's going to be... I want to say a port of some kind, but no. Like a meeting grounds. So, water. Not milk population. Oh, Henley. Water feature. And it is like... So the area is generally marshy, and then as you go east, there's more mountains and plains. That's just what's happened so far. Like, I didn't decide that. That's how it happened. Just with the rules. What is it about this place that makes people want to come here? Well, we'll just put a crossroads and figure it out. If you guys have an idea, let me know. Hmm. 12 and 19. So standard hex of planes. Not just planes. Standard. Is there anything special to standard planes is? Nope. Nope, just regular old planes. Okay. I think it's map time. Wish I had an air horn to be like boo 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 boo. Be like map time, map time. I know you're all excited. This cerebral content. Double forest, mountain, forest. Water, plains, forest. Plains. Forest. Water, plains. Something about this water, however, is special. Alright, just 2 more to go. This is what we've got so far. Oh, alright, let's do the next set of 10 rolls. Oh. Let's mark that down while I've still got it there. We'll do 9 rolls. So that's just a standard forest. Alright, 9 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 19, I think, is going to be copy. So forest with hunting ground. And that Direhawks joke and Henley being here makes me think that it's actually going to be dire chickens. Dire chickens and chupacabras. Both of which exist in the Pathfinder world. Stalk these lanes. Super hens and snake eating monsters. Or snake eating chickens. It's a war zone here. Alright. 11-5. What do we got? Planes with a feature. On our featured plane. Earthwork, defenses, and trenches. So here's a, let's say it's an older battlefield. This is like a monument to an ancient battle. Rusted weapons and cairns lay about the area. And then we got those trenches that were built once, you know, like they both sides kind of hunkered down for the battle. They put up earthwork stuff, and then afterwards, people just left. No one's come back for some reason. No one wants to pick up any of this stuff. Like, I guess it's been so long. The metal's worthless, and the trenches have kind of been like hollowed out by time. Not like hollowed out, but like the edge of the trenches, like they get wet, and so it starts to mudify, and they fill itself in. So it's just a giant useless mess. So I think that was 11-5, right? Nope, this is 11-5. Is a mountain with a feature. Oh no, that should have been it, but let's skip it. 2, 3, 18 and 6 is water with a feature. This is another unknown area. I don't know what's here. We'll figure it out later. Maybe dynamically, but there's something special about the rivers or lakes in this area that people come for. 13-11 is plains with a resource. Edible plants. Oh, so there's like cactus down here. I like that. Nope, cotton. Yeah, cotton's a real good one. There hasn't been a lot of clothing material, so we got dyes coming from those oysters. How you get dyes from oysters, I'm not sure. I may do that. I don't know. Oh, I do like that. Yeah, tasty fish. It could be like a salmon spawning pool because there's a mountain nearby. And so this is where those high-fat fish come. So this is like a raw cotton fields. So this is like full natural. This is where people come. And this is salmon spawning grounds. Not dire salmon, just regular salmon. It's special, but it's not that special. 10 and 18. Standard mountains. Just kind of dire salmon. Piranha ranchulas weren't enough for you? Now you want dire salmon. Is nothing I do good enough for you people? Can't you be nice to your mother? Bringing out that Koya All right, so we got more mountains. We got featured mountains. So this is going to be the first king. We had down here we had the third king. We had the second king. This is where the first king was. So there's like a migration from east, like this whatever kingdom or empire or whatever ends up either maybe it's like the ancient times. There was one in the east making dank memes. Someone was like, "I think dank's a swear word." I'm like, "You don't know what dank means, do you, man?" Um, yeah, there's like a migration from the east over here to these marshlands. And as they arrive, these kings carved their faces into the mountains as they moved further west and expanded their territory. 17 and 7. So it's going to be mountain with a hunting ground, and that has its rules tagged to it. So, mountain hunting ground. Yeah. So, so things we know about the world. Kings from an ancient empire headed west into the marsh, headed west. Lumber consortium travels to nearby settlement once a season to offload rare and large lumbers, and specialty mushrooms. What else do we know? We know that crocodiles are everywhere in the West. Seriously, there was like fucking 8 squares with crocodiles. So the leather trade is huge in the town. Leather trade is big, so is wood. They also have dye. But and there's iron, but they're missing things like salt and cloth. The cotton is in the far east of town. It's like 4 days outside of it. Maybe, it's only one field of it, one super field. So like maybe there's a plantation out there. Yeah. So cotton plantation in the east. So that's good, but they're still missing, trade goods. They don't have spices, they don't have specialty foods, but one of the big ones is drugs. This town has a huge amount of drugs and spell components, rare spell components. Eye of Newt, frog shit, basically anything that comes from a marsh. And that's why this wizard tower rules the town with an iron fist. So, we know a bit more about the world just from that. Get back to these hexes, though. So, last 2, 7 and 12. Be a marsh with a resource. What is that marshy resource? More herbs. We'll just say, not mushrooms. What's another good one? Is there like a marsh version of cotton? Ooh, reeds. Oh, sugar cane. Yeah. They got the sugar cane down here, man. They got the fucking hookup. You use that in everything. You use that shit in drugs. You use that shit in medicinal. You use it as a spice. Yeah. That kind of rounds out what that town needed to be like a survivable area. Now, of course, they trade for things they can't get here because they only have iron. So, they need a mix of metals.